Well, that concludes the performances for the first division. The voting window will now open. But now I present Ben to talk to you.
That was a riveting introduction, Al. Before you get your cell phones out to vote, I do want to take a moment to talk about the reason we're all here, which is to raise some money for two great causes, the Doctors Without Borders and the LS Community Closet. And the one we're going to talk about now is Doctors Without Borders. So Mr. Nightingale, if you could pull up that video that tells a little bit about Doctors Without Borders, and then I'll read something, and then you can vote and go eat food in the concession area.
Let's talk about health, more specifically healthcare. All around the world, people are visiting doctors, picking up their medications and renewing health insurance. Yet, all around the world, people are contracting illnesses and dying of curable diseases and injuries. The international humanitarian organization, Doctors Without Borders, aims to change this. Originally known as Médecins Sans Frontières, the organization was formed in France in 1971 by doctors and journalists. In 1999, they received the Nobel Peace Prize, and today they're continuing their work helping the world. So how does it work? All throughout the world, doctors, logisticians, water sanitation experts, and administrators donate their time and expertise traveling wherever need be. So who do they help? The answer? Everyone. That's the amazing thing about Doctors Without Borders. They are neutral in the face of social, political, religious, and militaristic adversity. When disaster strikes, when epidemics break out, when war ensues, MSF is there to help. So how successful are they? Well, in the year 2012 alone, the workers of MSF performed over 70,000 surgical procedures, administered over 430,000 vaccines, and provided outpatient consultations to over 8 million people. But their work doesn't stop there. As time goes on, more disasters will occur, more epidemics will break out, and more wars will begin. For MSF to continue to help, they need a continuous supply of donations. That's where you come in. You may not be a logistician or a doctor or an expert administrator, but any and all donations you can make to Doctors Without Borders will help. So spread the word, create a fundraiser, and to donate directly, visit doctorswithoutborders.org/donate.
So there's just a taste of what Doctors Without...
Let's talk about health.
Let's not.
Yeah, let's.
In fact, we are going to talk about health. I'm going to take one more moment of your time to read some comments from the field that a doctor who just returned sent to be used to help as an educational tool. When I first arrived in Lubumbashi, the capital of the Katanga province, Doctors Without Borders logistics teams were stocking up trucks with medical supplies. With a fast-growing measles outbreak tearing through the Democratic Republic of Congo, they were rushing to send measles treatment kits, malaria treatment kits, and measles vaccination kits to the sites of the epidemic before the roads turned really bad with the rainy season. As soon as I reached our hospital, where I would be treating patients with measles, I saw the challenges parents were facing. Many had to travel long distances on bicycles just to reach the hospital. That meant the children we were seeing were already in pretty bad shape. I remember one little girl who arrived at the hospital very, very sick. We worried it might be too late to save her. The 4-year-old girl was already bradycardic, which means she had a low heart rate, hypothermic, meaning her temperature was low, and showing low blood sugar and a very low respiration rate. So right away, my team and I started the resuscitation process. We also did a rapid malaria test with just a drop of blood, and she tested positive. We could see she absolutely had measles because she had the telltale rash that develops with this disease. Based on her age and her general appearance, we could also tell she was malnourished. So we began giving her glucose and sugar and fluids and malaria treatment and broad-spectrum antibiotics. We did everything we could. Still, as I stood at her head while delivering respirations, I was expecting this was not going to go well. That's when it happened. All of a sudden, she pushed my hands away. She did not want me giving her breaths because she was breathing on her own. We were able to stabilize her very quickly, and it was remarkable to have a kid who was really at the brink of death respond to treatments and wake up. Just a few days after that, I came into the hospital and she was sitting up in her bed, eating and smiled at me. It was the most amazing thing. She had seemed so close to dying, but really turned around. I've been on other missions as a Doctors Without Borders physician, but this was my first vaccination campaign. I got a first-hand look at all the energy and coordination that goes into carrying out a large-scale vaccination effort. We had outreach teams traveling to health posts in each village, educating people and handing out medication to help with the complications from measles for simple cases, so people could stay home and not have to go to the hospital. We helped nearly 30,000 kids that way. Of course, we also had vaccination teams going out, setting up sites and directly giving vaccination, and all told, we vaccinated 962,000 children. It all comes together into some of the most important life-saving work that you help Doctors Without Borders carry out. And just to give you some concrete examples of how your money can help and how, as you know, this big audience, a difference could be made. If $500 can purchase life-saving treatment for 473 young children suffering from malaria, $1,000 can purchase enough vaccine to protect 270 people against cholera during a deadly outbreak, $2,500 can purchase enough vaccine to immunize 7,575 children against measles during a deadly outbreak, and $5,000 can purchase 3 large sturdy tents to help set up a field hospital or therapeutic feeding center in an emergency. We'd ask that you would consider donating to ushers who will have baskets on your way out. And for now, we're going to take a brief intermission during which you can vote. The voting window is now open, and we would ask all elementary and middle school acts to come right up here on the stage with about 5 minutes to go in intermission. This will be about a 15-minute break, and we do hope you would consider donating to Doctors Without Borders. Thank you.